Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Full Potential Show. I'm James Rick, and this is your #1 non-boring source for personal development. Today on the line, we have Sallie Felton. She's a life coach, radio talk show host, and author of several books, including Stepping Stones to Success with Deepak Chopra, GPS for Success with Stephen Covey, and her latest book, If I Am So Smart, Why Can't I Get Rid of This Clutter? Today, we're going to talk about how to declutter from the inside out. We're so happy to have her on the show. Sallie, thank you for being here today.
I am more than happy to be here. Thank you, James, very, very much for having invited me. This will be fun.
This will be fun, Sallie. And I mean, it sounds like you've got a lot of exciting angles, and you've co-authored with some wonderful luminaries in the field of personal development. So, first of all, I'd like to talk about your story and what inspired you to write the books that you have. Take us back to what life was like before you were on this path.
Oh, wow. In my 20s, I was an entrepreneur, cottage industry. I oversaw a production company called The Rocking Horse, where we manufactured and sold children's outerwear. We were in a lot of catalogs. Fast forward, I'm in my 30s, got married. Now what do? I am having kids, age 36. I have 3 kids and trying to hold it all together and not doing a very good job of it. I said, okay, time to put down one business. You can put it to bed, not close it up, just put it to bed. And I really wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
So
and
it was really about making some lifestyle decisions.
Choices.
Yeah, some lifestyle changes.
Yep, definitely.
And then you restructured your life around the pursuit of something that not only met your lifestyle needs, but also was something that you were excited about.
Absolutely. I mean, what did I want to do? I wanted to spend the time with my kids. I really did. It was very important to me. I was lucky enough to have that availability to do that, and I don't regret it one moment at all, but there was also a time I knew when the kids would leave the nest, I would be on another path. And I consciously, James, thought of what was it I wanted to do? What was I good at doing over these years? One was listening, being a mentor to my kids' friends. And that sort of spawned me onto the next path, becoming a coach, a certified coach, going for 4 years, taking all the courses. So I've got that behind me. Then I thought, all right, what's the next step? And that I was approached to be a radio talk show host. And it's been 6 years, and I haven't looked back yet.
So it sounds like you asked the all-important question, though, of what do I enjoy and what am I good at, and how can I turn that into a business?
Exactly.
And then the path evolved from there.
Yep.
Now, where do you think some of these opportunities came from? I mean, you said you were approached to do this radio show. You've co-authored books with Deepak Chopra and Stephen Covey. I mean, where do you think these opportunities came from? Did you proactively decide them, or did you attract these opportunities to you because of some of the distinctions you made about where you want to go with your life?
I think a little bit of both, to be honest with you. Working with Deepak and Les Gray and Stephen Covey, I knew that would build a platform. So I knew I needed to take that step. I needed to hone in on creating that database, that email list, that subscriber list. When I first started on radio, James, I had 32 listeners my first day. 32. And I'm up to 395,000 subscribers right now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And it's been something that I am passionate about. One thing that I do probably more than I probably should, but that's what makes the radio show successful, is I tell my own stories. I tell my own stories, my own weaknesses, my own obstacles, the struggles, but also the wins. And I'm able to share also those of my clients using totally different names.
I think these stories that you're talking about, especially as you become real and authentic in the stories of your past that allow others to relate with you and follow your journey out, so that if they're at a certain point in their life where you intersected at one time, they can also find that way out. I think stories are really valuable, especially if you can get down to the core of what happened, what was I thinking, how did I get out of it? And so it makes sense. The more you let people in on your inner world, the more they're going to be able to connect with you.
It's very, very true. You do it all the time.
I do. It's a constant evolution, but I think that the more that we put the ego aside and we say, this is who I am, and this is what happened to me, and I don't have a facade, because really they're exhausting, right? To have some kind of image that you have to project. But to just
talk about clutter.
Talk about clutter, yeah. So let's do that. That's a good transition point, Sally. Let's talk about clutter. What are some tips? I mean, we set the stage really in the story that led up to this time and the journey in your life that brought us to this point. But I think you have some valuable insights on decluttering from the inside out. And I think it's valuable to start on the inside. There's so many people that are like, obsessive compulsive, right? Cleaning their physical environments, needing everything to be neat and tidy, when I think it's such a great metaphor that their inner files are a mess and they don't know where to begin because they don't have the mental tools to be able to get to work to start organizing those things. So I want us to address that and talk about how do you start to declutter from the inside out.
I'll use myself as an example. Years and years ago, when I was nursing second child, and I was at the drawing boards designing next year's outerwear. I was exhausted. I was absolutely exhausted. Here it was, James, 2 o'clock in the morning. My husband came down and he said, "Are you really having fun?" And I looked at him and I thought, wow, I'm not. This isn't fun anymore. It used to be fun. This isn't fun. This is arduous. In order to start to declutter from the inside out, you have to say, what touches my heart and what doesn't? If you're doing this for somebody else, let that be a red flag. And ask yourself, why are you doing it? And what does it give you, as well as what does it take away from you?
Ooh, these are some powerful questions.
Yeah.
Am I having fun?
Right between.
Does it touch my heart? If I'm doing it for somebody else, why am I doing it? What does it give me? And what does it take away?
That's right. Yeah. Many times we don't take it to that next step when we talk about this, but we have to. We have to. You start to declutter the heart, but you also, in conjunction, declutter the mind. It settles the mind down once we think about, wow, I really don't want to do that. So the mind starts to say, let's stop spinning the wheels. Why are we doing this?
And I mean, it sounds like once you get this clarity, yes, you're starting to declutter, but you're also going to have to make some new choices that might be scary at first, especially if you're letting go of something that's so comfortable and familiar, but isn't something that you necessarily enjoy doing. Like if you had a job or a business, in your case, that brought you money, that provided for your survival, but you may not enjoy it, but it offers security. You're making a huge leap from something that is proven to something that is unproven. That's a scary process.
It's a very scary process, but I also knew that I had a choice to make this decision, and I also had a choice not to do anything. You have two choices, but they're both choices, whichever way you choose. And my choice was I wanted to be home with my kids. That was paramount. And some people will say, but I want to know what that looks like before I take that leap. We sometimes can't do that. And we have to go with our gut instinct. One, I'm not happy what I'm doing. And two, it has to be better than what's happening right now, regardless.
Yeah, and three, you set a new standard. Yeah. You got clear on what you wouldn't negotiate in your life, and that was being at home with your kids. And that led to the pressure, the internal pressure you needed to make the jump. Because I think if you didn't set that standard, I don't know if you would have made that choice.
That's right.
So that's a complete list of things that you can do right there. Very simply, 3 steps is get clear on what you're unhappy about, what you want to change, get clear on where you want to go with it, what you'd like to create in your life, and then 3, set the standard. What are you not willing to accept in your life anymore to create the pressure that's going to make that change necessary?
That's right. For example, if someone's looking for a new job, they may say, well, I don't know where I want to be. Get a map out. Get a map out. Think out of the box. Where are you most happy? Are you a seasonal person? Do you like the warmer climates? Do you like the snow? Where is it you want to be?
All right, Sally, it's funny you bring up this question, Sally, because right now we're trying to decide where our next home's going to be, our home base, and we're constantly in limbo about which location, which region, what weather, But you're saying get clear on everything that's important to you, and the things that maybe don't matter as much, prioritize it, and then pick a location.
Pick a location.
And it's the same thing with your dream, with what you're going to pursue. Get clear on the non-negotiables, the things that you absolutely like. For example, you're in Massachusetts right now and it's snowing, right? And the power's out in some places because it's so cold. Yeah. The reality is, if it were me in your situation, those would be non-negotiable.
Fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. It is fine. Yeah, you're there in a short sleeve shirt, and I've got layers on right now. But that's fine.
I think we're on a great track, Sally, and I think one of the reasons why you connect so well with your audience is because you're so real. I feel like you have decluttered, and part of your decluttering is you've been able to get clear on what's important, who you are, and you're not so caught up in the pressures of making a good impression or anything else. It's speaking from the heart. I think that rings true for you, and that's one of the reasons why you come across as a very centered and peaceful being. And I appreciate your presence in this light.
Thank you.
So let's talk about some final points that you want to offer to folks that want to make this change, that want to live on purpose. Because we both know that you're happier when you're doing things that are meaningful to you and that you enjoy than when you're doing things that you feel like you have to do for other people or you need to do out of survival.
Well, I would be more than happy to give your first 3 listeners that email me a free copy of my latest book, and it's right here. Can you see that?
I can see it.
Right there.
Go ahead. Go up. There you go. Why can't I get rid? If I'm so smart, why can't I get rid of this clutter?
Yep. And it is about the 7 tools. It's practical tools, feeling tools, motivational tools, belief tools, self-care, and future tools. Okay. So I'm happy to do that, and I'm also happy to provide a free download of keeping yourself organized. And I have a list of how to do that, and I'd be more than happy to send that out to your listeners as well.
Well, that's so gracious of you. How do they pick up this free gift? This is for the first 3 people now.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
First 3 people will get the book.
Okay. And
They
how do
can
they reach
email
out and
me.
get that?
They can email me at Sallie,
Okay.
SALLIE, at SallieFeltonLifeCoach.com.
Okay.
And any others that want a free gift, they can email me at the same way, and I will be happy to download them with 20 smart tips for the holidays.
Okay, so the first 3 people, if I am so smart, why can't I get rid of this clutter? The first 3 people that email will get that. And then
Get
for
the
all the
book.
people that missed out on that, there's another freebie, and that is, again?
Absolutely. 20 of the easiest steps for the holidays
20 of the
to get
easiest
organized.
steps.
Yep.
All right, to get organized, because that is a stressful time of year.
It's stressful.
So that will be a wonderful blessing to many people out there that are usually stressed around the holidays. Usually stressed, but now they won't be with this report. Sallie Felton, lifecoach.com. The email is Sallie at SallieFeltonLifeCoach.com. It's the first 3 will get a copy of the book, and the rest will get the other free gifts that she's offering. Sallie, thank you so much for sharing your insights on the show today. Is there any final point you want to leave folks with before we wrap up today?
As Yoda said, do or not do. There is no try.
Well said, Yoda. Well said. Sallie, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much, James. Best to all of you.
Thank you for your presence. Everybody watching and listening right now, be sure and email Sallie to take advantage of those free goodies, and be sure and like and subscribe the Full Potential Show so you can get more great insights from luminaries like Sallie and freebies that you'll only find right here on the Full Potential Show. Thanks again, Sallie. Take care.
Thanks, James. Best to you and all.
Thank you so much, and good luck in the winter of Massachusetts.
I know it's cold.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, that concludes this week's episode of the Full Potential Show, your #1 non-boring source for personal development. I'm James Rick, and if you want to get more positive programming for your brain absolutely free on a weekly basis, just visit fullpotential.com.
If you like the Full Potential Show, you're going to love the Full Potential Club. What would you like most as a Full Potential Club member? Be 2 to 3 times more productive? Do what you're passionate about? Have more energy? Reduce your work hours? Travel the world? Enjoy an amazing lifestyle on a frugal budget? What if you could do them all? James Rick has been there and done it in ways that few people have. For anyone serious about taking their life or business to the next level, you know you've got to do more than just watch. You've got to do. Join James Rick and other like-minded people for an incredible $10 a month at fullpotential.com/club. Be educated. Be empowered. Be the best version of you. fullpotential.com/club. Try it free for 30 days.